We're just waiting on the push alert. Push alert's been sent, so we'll be up in 30 seconds. Good afternoon. Welcome into the WBAY newsroom. I'm Chris Roth. Thanks for joining us here on this First Alert Fastcast as we interrupt local news live to let you know what we are working on locally today. So obviously cold weather is an issue, and that's something that everybody is talking about. But also the winter weather means this, right? Snowmobiling. There it is. The season is underway. All trails are pretty much open now. Outagamie, Calumet, and Brown counties all saying that their trails are 100% open. And while it brings excitement, it also brings caution. There were 16 fatalities during the 2023 snowmobile season here in Wisconsin. Nearly all of them were avoidable. We're going to visit with the DNR Recreation Warden today at 4:30 to learn more. No surprise, alcohol and speed, they are a bad combo, but there are some other early season concerns as well. And one of those would be these right here, ice conditions. Specifically whether or not there's enough of it to make it safe for snowmobilers and fishermen, and what that could mean for the upcoming sturgeon spearing season. Remember, until this cold snap, we had open water in a lot of places around Wisconsin, so that is a concern. Jason Zimmerman is working on that story for us today. What is going on? There we go. Okay, sorry, we're going to get this cut up here. We'll bring you back into the newsroom. So those some of the stories working on. We'll tell you a little bit about some more here in a second. But let's bring in meteorologist Keith Gibson as we are talking about cold weather. So Keith, ice conditions, let me open up your mic, that would help, right? Ice conditions, they are going to improve rapidly here over the next few days, but a warm-up is coming, right?
Yeah, we do have temperatures that are cold, very cold right now, Chris. So the ice is developing, is expanding, and that will continue to be the case through the weekend. Yes, next week we are advertising some 30s back in here, so that could cut things off just a little bit, but we're still going to be below freezing at night. So in general, things are much improved from where we have been as far as wintry weather. I want to recap where we were earlier this morning, Chris. Check this out, the morning wind chills. We were talking about this yesterday, dangerous wind chills, and we got down into the minus 20 to minus 32 degree range. That was earlier this morning. And our lows are as cold as about minus 10, 11, or 12 across the area. So we bottomed out. That was the worst morning of this cold snap, and things are still very cold right now. Wind chills anywhere from about minus 10 to minus 20. It's a little bit colder in some spots like Sheboygan, but teens below zero as far as the wind chill right now, and that will continue for the rest of today, tonight, tomorrow morning. The wind chill advisory has been expanded until 9 a.m. tomorrow, Chris, for these dangerous wind chills. Not as extreme, but still minus 10 to minus 25 for the rest of today, tonight, and through mid-morning tomorrow. And then after that, things will start to improve as we go through time here. So just to reiterate, the First Alert Weather Day will continue here over the next little while today, rest of today, tonight, tomorrow morning. Cover the exposed skin, limit your exposure. These conditions will allow frostbite to occur in 30 minutes or less. Our wind chill trend for the evening and the overnight here, teens to 20s below zero, and that is just where we are headed, Chris. So it's going to be a very cold night, and right now temperatures are only in the single digits above and below zero. I think the last time I checked, we were at 1. In Green Bay. So Sean was at 6, so it's...
we're having a heat wave.
Some spots are enjoying that balmy temperature above 6 degrees, but most spots are closer to 0 right now.
All right, Keith, I got one other question for you before you go. You and I have been talking about this. Let's bring up You want to bring up your map again? Here
Oh,
real quick?
you want which one do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the weekend, but you go ahead and give us this stuff first.
Do you want to talk about the Packers?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, just,
We don't even need graphic for that. Just tell me, is it going to be wet?
No, well, I do have a graphic prepared, so let me pop that up real
All right,
quick.
you're on screen now until we get that done.
Okay, good
We're
deal.
very high tech here, so we're gonna hide your computer. There it is.
There we go. Okay, so
Boom.
yeah, so this is Friday afternoon. Keep in mind we'll have a weather maker come on into California, producing some wet weather there Friday evening, Friday night. There could be a little bit of a break there Saturday morning, but going into Saturday evening, kickoff time, the clock says 7 o'clock. That's our time.
That's
this
our
would
time.
be
Yeah.
game time out in Santa Clara, and it looks like another front will be coming in. There will be a chance for some rain during the course of the game, and temperatures will be somewhere in the mid to upper 50s, we think, for the game, but
Okay.
pretty decent chance for some wet weather before and during and then after the game. It just, could we get that lull in there for the actual game? Time will tell, but it's trending wet and, of course, much warmer than here.
All right, yeah, indeed. And for those who don't remember, the Packers won a very important playoff game in a monsoon out in San Francisco back in 1997. They won the NFC title game in the rain, so maybe it won't bother.
Maybe the
not
planets are aligning, Chris.
There you go. That's
Okay.
History repeats itself. Keith, thanks so much.
bet.
Appreciate it. We take a look at that Sturgeon Bay sky cam. And, we talked about the ice, and you can kind of it's really starting to gather there out on the bay. A beautiful shot there in Sturgeon Bay. As for what else is happening that we are working on today, coming up at 4 o'clock, we'll look at travel plans for Packer fans who are looking to head west for Saturday's divisional playoff game with the Niners. Maybe pack some rain gear if you're among that group. But again, we talked about the DNR snowmobile safety discussion we'll have at 4:30 today. That's a good discussion with Marcus Medina. He is a DNR recreational warden. 5 o'clock, Brown County Criminal Justice Board meeting again today. They've had a lot of topics on their hand. Low public defenders, the bond issue that they've been discussing. We'll find out what came out of that meeting today. Coming up on Action 2 News at 5. Also at 4:30, Brittany Schmidt is covering this. She's going to join us, talk a little bit about that. And the business of cold at 6 o'clock. We don't like it, but some places, in fact, do like it because it means business for them. So that is what we've been working on. Let's drop that Sturgeon Bay Skycam out as we are back in our newsroom. And so we thank you for joining this First Alert Fastcast. We're going to return you now to local news live, and we will see you coming up on Action 2 News at 4, 4:30, 5, and 6 o'clock.